ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यम् श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मापादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यम् तं तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Hari Om, salutations to all. So here in the Mandukya Upanishad, we saw the first mantra, Om iti etad idagam sarvam tasya upavyakyanam. All this is Om as pure consciousness, and that is what is being elaborated in this Upanishad. What was, what is, what will be, all is Om. In the sense, everything is appearance of consciousness alone. Yachanya trikalatitam. And that which is beyond the three periods of time, that also is consciousness only. So the same consciousness which is beyond time is also appearing in time in the form of this whole universe. Now, having indicated that, the second mantra said, Sarvam hi etad Brahma. All this is Brahman. And this Atma is that Brahman. That was the Mahavakya. Ayam Atma Brahma. Sarvam hi etad Brahma, Ayam Atma Brahma. And then what is this Atma? So it will now be indicated through the 4 quarters. Soyam Atma Chatushpat. Now little more time we should spend to understand the Mahavakya. See, Sarvam hi etad Brahma, all this is Brahman. Even the Dvaitin will accept, Vishishtadvaitin also will accept. All this is divine. Because Bhagavan is the creator, sustainer, destroyer, Sarvagnya, Sarvavyapi, Sarvashaktiman. So when we say Sarvavyapi, then all this is Brahman only, is Bhagavan. If all this is Brahman, that Dvaitin also is accepting. It is Ishvara, it is Paramatma, whatever terminology is used. Any Upasak will see the Upasya as Sarvagnya, Sarvashaktiman, Sarvavyapi. What does Advait Vedanta say? And so their understanding of mukti also will be different based on that. So the Dvaitin will have the Salokya, Sarupya, Samipya, Sayujya, Sarshti, 5 types of mukti, but none of these are Kaivalya mukti. This is mukti through upasana. Do the upasana, go to the loka of the deity, and those 4 types, 5 types of mukti. Actually 4, and Sarshti is one has the power to create, sustain, destroy. One attains certain powers of the totality. Mukti through karma marg is much more limited. So this we have to know. First of all, moksha does not have a common definition in the sense that everybody believes there's one moksha. That is not there. If we think all religions lead to the same goal, that is one delulu we are in. All don't lead to the same goal. Each one's definition of the ultimate goal is very different. Then in Sanatan Dharma itself, if we say all paths lead to the same goal, it doesn't. And it shouldn't. Because the adhikari is of different levels. And each one wants mukti from different things. Why impose one? Whatever I feel is my bondage, I want to be free from that, right? Disease when it is there. Can you give one medicine to all people? We can't. If somebody has a fever, somebody has some jaundice, somebody has some tuberculosis, what is their disease? From that they want mukti. They want to be free. So if somebody is feeling that this samsara is a bandhan and it is dukkha swarupa, I want more pleasurable existence, I want more enjoyable life. They want to go to Swarga. For them, going to Swarga is mukti. Freed from this dukkha of this samsara, I go there, I'll enjoy. Okay, that is that person's understanding. And Shastra is also saying, yes, you do these rituals, you will attain punya. With that punya, you will go to heaven, you will enjoy there. So, karma marga mukti, that karma mimamsaka, they won't even believe in the existence of Bhagavan. They will believe their karma is the supreme, and they will have the attitude that with my karma, when I am chanting the Veda, when I am doing the ritual appropriately, with the right instructions and the rules and regulations to be followed, the vidhi and nisheda, I will get punya, go to the heaven. For them, that is mukti. So mukti through karma marga is that. Mukti through upasana marg is when one is saying that this is particular form which I love, this is my Ishtadevata, and I surrender to the Ishtadevata. And depending on, again, in that also these 4 levels, and then plus 1 sarshti 5. Then mukti through jnana marg. See, mukti through karma and upasana both are temporary and dependent on punya karma, dependent on the bhav of the upasak. When the punya karma is over, they are back. Kshine punya martya lokam vishanti. Upasana marg also, Dvaita will remain, which means limitation of myself as an individual continues. I may be in the same loka as Bhagavan, but my jiva bhav continues. I may be looking like Bhagavan and become his parshad or the attendant, my Jiva Bhav continues. So, in both these, the person has not attained complete freedom from sorrow and attainment of Paramananda. That has not happened. Until that doesn't happen, the cycle of birth and death continues, and in some cases, yes, they continue to remain in that loka. They don't come back here. If that level of punya is there and they don't have craving for this worldly desires, then they continue in the loka till Bhagwan has to give knowledge. There also through knowledge only mukti will happen. So the mukti through Atmagnan, that the Jnana Marg, is what? It is not that we were bound earlier and now because of knowledge we will be liberated. Mukti is to realize our Nitya Mukta Swarupa. That I was, I am, and I will always be free. It is just because of ignorance I did not realize that, and I mistook myself to be this Jiva and this body. So, Mukti in Jnana Marg is Nitya Siddha. What is already there, I have to recognize it, that's all. And for that, the Mahavakya is the Pramana or is the valid means. The moment the Mahavakya is heard from a Shrotriya Brahmanishta Guru, if the student is ready, instant will be the realization. Because that Brahmakara Vritti will arise. Akhandakara Vritti will arise. Just like if I say that, okay, this is a water bottle, this is a book, this is a, let us say, a phone. Now, the moment one hears that, one thought will arise. One picture will be there, color will be there, some ideas will be there associated with it, it will arise. Now, when a teacher says Mahavakya, Brahman is not one object. So, when we say Akhandakara Vritti, it is not some object that is getting objectified, which is why preparation of the mind is required. That person will instantly realize that I am that Brahman, I am that very subject which is illumining everything. And that is infinite. I am the subject, I am Atma, if it is said, it is not a Mahavakya. It is only indicating this Atma. But when it is said, I am Atma Brahma, what is that Brahma? That was already said, Sarvam hi etad Brahma. All this is Brahman. The substratum of the whole universe is Brahman. And what is that Brahman? That we have seen earlier. Desha Kala Vishaya, Desha Kala Vastu Aparichinna. Not limited by space, not limited by time, not limited by object. That infinite consciousness is this Atma. And the teacher uses the Abhinay Pradarshan with the mudra, will show this, meaning where this Aham Sphurana happens, Aham, 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 that Atma, this Aham is not small, individual inside the heart somebody is having. It is all pervasive, that is infinite consciousness alone. Like one says that this pot space, this pot space is that outside space. This Ghatakasha is that Mahakash. There are no two. That now this Ghatakash is becoming that Mahakash, or when the Ghatakash will break, then this Ghatakash, Mahakash oneness will happen. There is no transformation into the total space. There is no modification into the total space. There is no evolution into that total space. It is one space always. Even if there are 100 pots, one is a yellow pot, one is a pink pot, one is a red pot. There is no yellow space, pink space, red space. Only one space. That pink pot space and red spot space is only appearance, is not really. Space can't be divided. So that clarity when one has, so then the Upanishad, when the Guru is saying this Mahavakya, I am Atma Brahma. This Atma is that Brahma. Is like saying this red pot space is that outside space, total space. When the indication is done that this red pot space is that total space, is it that then that red spot space became out total space? No, it was always there. That space occupied by the pot, the space in the pot is also having space. All that was always one with the total space. There was no difference ever. By ignorance, one thought this is I, body, the pot. That ignorance goes by knowledge. Ignorance is in the buddhi. This Brahmakara vritti rises in the buddhi. It will destroy that ignorance. Atma is always present. It is not defined by a thought, and hence it is not produced when the instruction of Mahavakya is given. It will not be that the student was deluded earlier and with the knowledge he has now become free. Means he was bound earlier and with the knowledge now he became free. What will the student realize? I was, I am, I will ever be that. And that I is that Brahma. So this one has to know that through Jnana, this is the Mukti. And hence there is no question of coming back or falling into the realm of ignorance again. Because one has realized that none of this even exists from the Atma standpoint, which is Brahman. There is only one truth, which was, which is, which will ever be. Earlier it was said that is Omkar, and now it is said that is Brahman, which means Om is that Brahman. So this is the Mahavakya, and which is why Mahavakya Shravan is the most important sadhana in Vedanta. It is Sakshat sadhan to realize the truth. Different types of Vakyas are there. Some will be Vidhi Vakya. One should do this, Shastra will say. On, let us say, for certain karma, it will say these are the rules if you want to do Agnihotra, let us say example. So they are called Vidhi Vakyas. These are the rules you should follow, this you should do. And this will be the Nishedha Vakyas. This you should not do. So some will be Vidhi Vakya, some will be Nishedha Vakya. I'm just going to share a few of these different types of Vakyas so that we understand what is a Mahavakya. So Vidhi Vakya, Nishedha Vakya, then Mantra Vakya. So some will be what we call like Gayatri Mantra, which we use. The Upadesha will be given, and one uses that for japa. One can use it for certain puja, havan, all that. Then there will be Siddha Vakya, which will help a person to attain certain siddhis, certain powers. There are Upasamhara and Upakrama Vakyas. They will introduce and conclude the teachings. Then there are Upasana Vakyas, which will help to teach about form of Bhagavan or different types of Upasanas, not just form of Bhagavan, like Taittiriya Upanishad, etc. has so many Upasanas which are given, which are based on Prakriti. So Upasana Vakyas, which will, of course, we are seeing Brahman in that, Saguna Brahman, meaning Ishvara, we are not seeing nature only as nature, separate from Ishvara. We are worshipping Ishvara through nature. Like when we say Gayatri Mantra, we worship Bhagwan through Surya Devata. So that way there will be upasanas, upasana vakyas which are there. Then there are karma vakyas. In karma vakya only this will come. Vidhi, nishedha, all that will come in the karma vakyas. Then there is this mahavakya. So what is the mahavakya? A statement which indicates the oneness of Jiva, Jagat and Jagadishwara, all the three. None of the, no one of the three should be missing. Statement which says only Jiva and Brahma, no Ishvara, no Jagat, or which says only Jagat and Brahma, no Atma, that is not a Mahavakya. The statement will include Jiva, Jagat, Jagadishwara and show the essential oneness, not through literal meaning, but through the indicative, implied meaning. So one is the Mahavakya is a statement of identity. Because if any one we exclude, then that will not be complete. That knowledge will not be complete. So one, in this context, I am Atma Brahma. This Atma is that Brahman. So what is that Brahman was already said in the earlier line, saying Sarvam hi etad Brahma. All this is Brahman. So that the very word Brahma is having that Jagat aspect included. When we say Brahma, it is Desha Kala Vastu Aparichinna, that is the nature of Brahman, and that is the substratum of this Jagat itself. When we say substratum of the Jagat itself, it means that Jagat the substratum appears as the superimposition. The rope is appearing as the snake. There is no difference between the rope and the snake. And in this context, when that has been established that the substratum is infinite, that word Brahma already indicates that. Now what is indicated is that infinite substratum of this creation is I. I am Atma. So if only I am Atma, suppose somebody says, I am one with the world, which many songs also will say, we are the world, we are the people, all that. So the identification is of the Jiva with the Jagat, and the Jiva still feels I and Jagat are one. So many Jivas are there. We all are one. At whatever level, human beings, we all are human beings, or we all are living beings. Whichever level one wants to identify. It is definitely better than thinking I am only this and living only for I, me, and mine. But it is still not going to remove sense of finitude. It will not remove my fear and insecurities and sorrow completely. So Jiva and Jagat oneness has its own importance, no doubt. But it is not complete. Jagat and Ishvara oneness. Yes, Jagat is the appearance of Ishvara, no doubt, and that I still consider myself as different because I think Jagat is outside. And this Jagat Ishvara created. So whatever is my understanding of Ishvara, I will say, okay, that Ishvara created or that Ishvara is manifesting as this or appearing as this. But again, no clarity about what is my true nature. And if we say Jiva and Jiva, we are one, then again only at a living being level we are talking. So Jiva and Jiva, Jiva and Jagat, Jagat and Ishvara. Now comes Jiva and Ishvara. That Jiva and Ishvara oneness, how it is essentially, that is what this Mahavakya will tell. And so the method of the Mahavakya is very simple. When we read this Mahavakya, Ayam Atma Brahma, honestly, if we don't know, if we have not studied Vedant properly in Parampara, etc., we may even skip through this and we won't even know this is a Mahavakya. Okay, all this is Brahman. This Brahman is me. And this Atma has these 4 quarters. One will keep going. Now that we know, and especially this Ayam Atma Brahma is one of the 4 major, one of the 4 Mahavakyas, which are classified as the important ones or prominent ones. Otherwise, every Upanishad has Mahavakya. So many Upanishads, so many Mahavakyas are there. Not 4, only 4. They are taken out and there is no, it is Paramparagat Prapta Jnana. Who took it out? Where is it written? It is not there like that. It has been passed on generation after generation. These are 4 Mahavakyas, one from each Veda has been taken. So, this Mahavakya is the first point, is it is a statement showing identity of all the 3, Jiva, Brahma and Jagat. Jiva, Ishvara, Jagat, Jagadishvara. Jiva, Jagat, Jagadishvara, it will say oneness of these 3. Second, that statement is the Praman for Atmagyan. Praman means a valid means of knowledge. Only the Mahavakya is the Praman for Atmagyan. Other Vakyas can be Praman for their objectives. Like we say, Karma Vakyas, they are the Praman. How to do what ritual, do's and don'ts, you follow what is written in the Karma Kand, in the Mimamsa portions. Follow that. That is the Praman. Because if that is not done, the ritual is not done appropriately with the right Vidhi and Nishedh, it will not give result. Sometimes it will give wrong ulta result also. Some harmful result also can come. So the Praman for that is the karma, the karma part of the Veda. You want to go to lokas, etc., follow that upasana. But if you want freedom once and for all, Kaivalya Mukti, then only Praman is Advaita Vedant. In that Advaita Vedant, the Praman will be actually Mahavakya, which will establish that Advaita, oneness. So first is identity, the statement which indicates identity of Jiva, Brahma, and generally they will say Jiva, Brahma, Aikya, because Brahman includes that Jagat. Otherwise, Jiva, Jagat, Jagadishwara. Second, it is the valid means of Atmagyan, because that Brahmakara Vritti will arise and it will destroy avidya. One will realize the nature as Atma, which is all pervasive, which is beyond time, all the qualities of Brahman, one will realize. Third, it will not give any injunction. That's the best part. But the subtlest part. Every other Vakya is giving something to do or don't do. This doesn't say any do and don'ts. It will only state fact. What is the fact? You are Brahman. Whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not, whether you accept it or not, you are Brahman. Full stop. I am Atma Brahma. It is a statement of fact. There is no verb in that. There is no word added saying I am Atma Brahma Bhavishyati. this Atma will become Brahman. Asti one may say. What I mean is that verb is not the meaning. There is no kriya that it is telling us to do, karma. It is just a statement of fact. I am Atma Brahma. I am Brahman, which is that this Atma is that Brahman. Khatam. So there is no injunction in that to do or not do. It is statement of the fact. And when we are ready, that statement of fact itself is liberating. There is no rope. There is no snake. It's statement of fact. There is only rope, no snake. I'm not saying that's a Mahavakya, but I'm just saying if one is given that knowledge, there is rope there is no snake. One is not telling them to do anything. If you bring one stick, beat the snake, nothing. There you are accepting the snake. What is the injunction there? What is the statement there? You see clearly, no? Then you will see what is there. There is only rope. There is no snake. So like that, there is a statement of fact. And this statement of fact, what will it do? Simply is a statement of fact. इससे मुक्ति हो जाएगी. That's the whole point, because that one doesn't know. Ignorance is the main, the root cause that we have seen earlier. And so this statement will destroy avidya. That we should not forget. Because people think like that. Directly it will destroy avidya. People think just by knowing Tattvamasi, how will I be liberated? I will be liberated. Even in the day-to-day world that happens, forget Mahavakya. If I feel I am poor and I am begging for money, going from pillar to post, but I don't know that I am actually a multi-billionaire. I don't know who my father was, but he left a will, and that fellow was searching for me, and when he found, he's saying, you are this, who? Multi-billionaire. Over. Full poverty gone, everything gone. Now who am I? Multi-billionaire. No need to beg. Of course, example has a limitation. My point is that just by knowing, how will I be liberated? Because you are already that. This BMI is one false conditioning and appearance, and then I'm identifying with it. And which is why the Shravan of Mahavakya has to happen with full attention. Because once one gets it, it's over. It is Nitya Siddha already. Then and there realization happens. Khatam. But if it is not happening, that means mind is not ready. So then do the sadhanas for it. Karma Yoga to reduce mala, upasana to make the mind single pointed, remove the vikshepa, and then listen again with the mind which is prepared. Another classic example given is of the 10 fools. 10 fools are going from one village to another village. In between, one river has come, and there is no boatman, anybody around. So what they have to do? They decide, okay, we will swim through this. When they swim through this and they go to the other side, they start counting. Because somebody says, oh, how we should count, we were 10 of us. What is the guarantee everybody has come? So they are counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only 9 people. No. You are making some counting mistake. I will count. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now all of them counted. And now they started crying. One, batchmate of ours, gone, not there, missing, maybe they are drowned. And they are in sorrow. One wise man is passing by there and saying, what happened? 10 of us were there, we started, only 9 of us are remaining now. So that wise man said, you stand in one line and now you count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He made one fellow count. 7, 8, 9. And then this hand with which he was counting, he said, put here 10. Found the 10th man. They start celebrating. Who is the 10th man? All of them are the 10th man actually. Whoever is counting is the 10th man. Now the moment that wise man said, you are the 10th man, put the hand on his head, 10, realized, I am the 10th man. What was blocking till then? They were all there properly only before itself. But they thought one man is missing. Then that thought that you are the 10th man has removed that ignorance. That's all. That's what the Mahavakya will do. It will destroy avidya. And there is no process involved in this. Which is why one says mukti will not happen through any karma. So if somebody says, oh, but Shravan Manan Nididhyasan, and you are going to the teacher, serving the teacher, then listening from them, then reflecting, then contemplating, all that is karma only. So how do you say karma is not giving mukti? Karma is not giving any mukti. And all this is sukshma karma, which is not producing Brahman. It is not creating anything. It is only removing the obstacles. That's all. What will it remove? Ignorance it will remove. What is the obstacle? Why am I not gaining the knowledge? Mahavakya will remove ignorance. Now I am listening to Mahavakya. If knowledge is not arising, then there are obstacles, impediments which are there. Those have to be removed. So Shravan, when it is done with a prepared mind, Atmagyan happens. If I am listening first time, then Shravanam removes abhavana. That I feel I am this jiva only, and where Brahman, which Brahman, does it even exist? So the knowledge of Upanishads will remove abhavana. Shravan will remove abhavana. Then when I listen, they are not only saying Brahman exists, they are saying Brahman is you. That is not acceptable only. Okay, Brahman exists, that itself is difficult to accept. Something which is beyond time, space, object is there. Now it is saying you are that. So how can I be that? How can the world not be real? Doubts will come. So this manan will remove asambhavana. Asambhav. How am I Brahman? I am this little jiva. How did I create the world? If Brahman is the cause of the world, how did I create the world? So all that doubt will be there. The interesting thing is, even after studying Vedanta for so many years, people will still have doubt. If I am Brahman, why should I worship Bhagwan? If you are Brahman, if you already know you are Brahman, there is no Dvaita. So where is you and Ishvara? That means that Jnana only is not correct. And then only thinking, if I am Brahman, why should I worship Ishvara? Who told you to worship Ishvara if you are already Brahman? Because you are a jiva who is trying to realize I am Brahman. To drop that jiva bhav, it is said worship Ishvara as upasana, make the mind single pointed. So manan has not happened properly, Shravan has not happened properly. Then doubts will persist. So manan will remove asambhavana. Still there will be habitual error. I feel I am this jiva. Anadi Maya Supta. So many countless lives I have gone through. With this attitude, I am the body, I am the jiva. That has to go. How Nididhyasan will remove that? So we didn't produce anything. Karma didn't do anything in this. Shravan Manan Nididhyasan is Sukshma Karma, no doubt. But it will dissolve the Karta. It will dissolve the Triputi, the doer, the action, and then the experience. It will dissolve all. Other karmas don't do that. Even here, karma is not doing. It is only removing the obstacles. Then one realizes the truth. So Mahavakya will be that which removes, it destroys ignorance completely. And that's why this Mahavakya is called the Sakshat Sadhan for realization. The direct means for realization is only a Mahavakya. Bahirang sadhan, antarang sadhan, param antarang sadhan, sakshat sadhan. So yajna, dana, tapa, when we do all that, bahirang sadhan. Antarang sadhan, pranayam, japa, upasana, that. Param antarang sadhan, shravan, manan, nididhyasan. And sakshat sadhan, meaning that which will directly produce that Brahmakara vritti. Now again remember, somebody says, oh Swamiji, see you are saying na produce Brahmakara vritti. Caught you there. So he is producing, meaning it was not there before. Now it has risen. Correct. But that Brahmakara vritti is not like this other regular vrittis. It is an intuitive, effortless realization, I am Brahman. I was, I am, I will always be Brahman. And that will destroy that avidya once and for all. And it will also get destroyed after a point. It won't remain. Only realization, only Brahman, full stop, not even realization, Brahman. So when we say this Mahavakya, this is the importance of the Mahavakya, how the Mahavakya will actually reveal the truth. And why this is so important in Vedanta. This is the means of realization. Everything else is a preparation for this. That's why we are spending so much time on this one. Some 2-3 sessions already over on this same line, same one line. Volumes, full Veda is only for this much. We have taken only 2-3 sessions. Entire Veda is to understand this actually. Mahavakya. I am Atma Brahma. Now these 4 Mahavakyas which are there, any one Mahavakya is sufficient to realize the truth. Like here this I am Atma Brahma is enough to realize the truth. One doesn't need many more. But when we say 4 are there, that is for us to know one Mahavakya from each Veda. And as a memory aid, Gurudev gives a very nice story, which again remember, it's a memory aid. It is to connect these 4 for us to remember. It is not that this sequence it will happen. One story where he will say the disciple meets the Guru and how the Upadesh of the Guru helps the disciple to realize the truth. In that 4 Mahavakyas will be used. So that is for us to know and remember the story and remember the Mahavakya, sorry. So it is for that. One should not think, okay, now 1 Vakya I have learned, now I have to do the second, now third, now fourth, and order to change ho gaya Swamiji. Now I came to know of this first. So don't have those confusions. Any one Mahavakya is enough to realize the truth. So now we will see that story. It is a little longer, so it will go on up to almost 8:30. But since we are in that continuity of thought, I think we should see it today.
Who are teaching in the various Gurukulas, who are teaching this to our Hindu children, they summarize the Indian philosophy in 4 mighty declarations. And these declarations were taken, one statement from each of the Vedas. One tiny expression of 3 or 4 words. And they said that these 4 statements, each one taken from one different Veda, these 4 statements summarizes the entire philosophy of Hinduism, the entire vision of the rishis. Now 4 statements, it must be very difficult for you to remember. 4 items to remember nowadays are very difficult. 4 items if you want to purchase, you go to the bazaar and there you stand there and say, "Pata nahi kyun aaya yahan?" I don't know what I wanted to purchase. Can you tell me? Why I came here? This is the way our memory is very good. So to make you remember the 4, I know it is difficult for you, but you have to remember it. So it is my duty now to see that these 4 are nailed to your head. But for that your head must be available. Nailing I will do. That is, if you cooperate, it is not very difficult to understand these 4 Mahavakyas. Mahavakya meaning, don't say commandment, because the Christian commandment contains nothing but the little moral values only, not the serenity and depth of philosophical sublimity as the Hindu Mahavakyas have got. So Mahavakya must be translated as the great statements of supreme implication, suggestive, right? Now it is easier for you to remember it if I weave around it a dramatic scenario. Because the stories you remember, pictures, don't you remember the picture that you saw last year? I always remember. It's no difficulty at all. But it's only the useful things I can never remember. A great student, having studied a little, but he is not satisfied by his study. He goes to his teacher in the Himalayas. I said the teacher in the Himalayas because that is a teacher who has dedicated himself for research. He has nothing to do with the world outside. He is there in his laboratory, constantly doing research upon this great state of consciousness. He has cut himself off from the world. Just as a research scholar today, early morning 7 to night 9, he is in the laboratory. It is his family is unhappy, his wife is miserable, children, he doesn't remember how many are there, he is not interested in it at all. He is only single-pointed mind, love. That's called a research student. Such research scholars should never marry. And they don't, honestly. But they get married. Because the girl's father comes and hangs it on him. And he doesn't want even to protest against it, because to protest means take the mind away from the laboratory. So he said, okay, that also is on my shoulders, okay. That is it. Unless the lady has got that attitude, understanding, he can never respect him because he never cares. The extreme case that I have heard is, there is a scholar and his mother is seriously ill, and therefore the wife phones him up. Doctor has come, and doctor said it's maybe another 2 hours, and the mother told her, please come. He said, okay, I'm coming. He put the phone down, and the moment he put the phone down, he forgot about it because he has plunged into his research. After 2 hours, the lady again phoned up. Our mother has expired, and I have called the priest, and the priests are coming. He said, okay, priests will be coming, and the box I have already ordered, so and so, please contact him, and he will come, and you get ready, I am coming. It's not that he has no devotion to the mother. He put the phone, but his mind again went to his research. The lady after 2 hours again phoned up saying that all the functions are over, all the friends have arrived, we are taking the procession to the place where it is to be rested. He said, okay, now that you have started, I don't want to come there and disturb you. When you are crossing the university, I will join, because you have to go by that way. Again, he forgot all about it. The lady went there, everybody was asking, where is the professor, and she is very ashamed to say that he has not come, he will be coming, and somehow they finished the function, and she was going home at that time, at the university gate. She turned inside, she went to the lab, and you can understand that woman, how she will approach that man. Everybody knows it under these circumstances, and she's right. So she was boiling, and she entered the laboratory, and she couldn't say a word. Why? He was sitting there, bent on his research, and every cell in his body, he is showing the sincerity of his self-application. And from the backside view itself, she said, I can't say a word to that rascal. Though he deserves it, but I can't say he is so sincere. So she went there. Now, a lady who has got that much of feeling, and she could not express it, repress it, what happened? Comes out. That anger comes out as tears. So she stood near the laboratory, and on the table, near the table. But the man never lifted his eyes. He thought that must be one of the laboratory boys. I don't know what that devil he is standing there for. Never mind. He doesn't want even the mind to go there. He was applied. It's at that time she started weeping. These tears were falling, unfortunately, on a piece of paper on the table. So in that silence of the laboratory, tap, 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 the drops are falling. That disturbed him, and therefore he looked at there. Water falling on the table. So he wanted to know the source of it, and he saw. He saw what? Tears. He said, he ran inside, brought 2 beautifully cleaned test tubes, and came and started showering. And he said, honey, you are the only one who helps me when I want it badly. I wanted in my experiment the composition of tears, and you are here ready at that time. Thank you very much. He has forgotten his mother, the tragedy at home, and why she is crying, and she is crying, therefore you must sympathize. His idea is only love, the work that he is doing. And if the tears are one day, and she is weeping, I am obliged to her that she is weeping for my need. Correct. This is the condition of the single-pointed mind. Thus these teachers in their laboratory is not a taxpayer's money. He wants only a quiet place. On the right-hand bank of the Ganges, between 5 and 10,000 feet altitude, they generally put a simple, humble hut and contemplate. To that teacher's place, searching for such a teacher, the student in his hunger to know this great truth used to make a pilgrimage. When he reaches there, the master is lost in contemplation in the higher state of consciousness. Supposing, my friend, you are come to me as a friend, and when you reach there, I was sleeping. Would you say, hey, get up? You will never. Because you have got devotion, love for me, and therefore, no, if he's sleeping, I will wait. Isn't it? In the same way, when the master is in that higher state of consciousness, the student never disturbs him, but waits. When the teacher comes down to the normal level and recognizes the boy that's standing, the boy prostrates. Naturally, the teacher asks, yes, how can I help you? What do you want? What can the student ask? Sir, what is God? That reality. I have read books, but I couldn't understand. What is God? The definition of truth. The teacher answers him with the simplest definition. Prajnanam Brahma. The substratum for the whole universe is Prajnanam, consciousness. Consciousness is that which is the common denominator in all of us, just as the ocean is the common denominator in all waves, gold is the common denominator in all ornaments. God, which is everywhere present, is consciousness, Prajnanam Brahma, definition of truth. The first great Mahavakya, the great statement. And saying that, the teacher goes back again to his state of contemplation. The student prostrates and goes to the Ganges banks. Out of the simple branches and twigs that are there, he makes a small little hut meant for him to sleep in the night, and sits in the Ganges banks and analyzes. What did the teacher say? He said consciousness is God. If you and I today go to a teacher and then the teacher says consciousness is God, I asked such an intelligent question, the fellow just said what and gone. Those students know that the teachers will not say a word in vain. So he analyzes, intelligently analyzes. What is its significance? Consciousness is God. I am alive when I am conscious. When I am dead, the dead body is not conscious of anything. This consciousness, in varying degrees, is present in all living beings. The plant is conscious of water vapor and sunlight. The animal is conscious of its own little ones, conscious of many things. The human beings are maximum conscious. Consciousness is everywhere. All living beings are consciousness. Where there is consciousness, there is no life. That is why God is all pervading. He is the enlivener of everything. Because once the consciousness is not there, the body cannot move at all. So the body was moving because of consciousness. Oh, he is Jagadishvara, the Lord of the entire world of change. Now I understand, I see that consciousness is God. Because all of us have got an idea that God is, where is God? Above the clouds, safely away from us. We have exiled him because we know that if he is here, it's a terrible difficulty. We can't do many things that we are doing because he is here. So, the student intellectually understand that God is consciousness. Having thus understood, maybe he has taken 2 years or 3 years, 2 months or 3 months probably to think over and analyze and understand independently. He comes back again to the teacher. The teacher says, what can I do now? Sir, you told me that Prajnanam Brahma, consciousness is God. I have analyzed and understood it. That consciousness is in all living beings. Where there is no consciousness is dead and inert. So he is the one who is the sole Lord of all these universe. He is ever present everywhere because he is in everyone. He understands everything because it is a consciousness by which I understand what I understand and you understand what you understand because of consciousness. So consciousness is one everywhere and therefore he is the one who is knowing everything that is happening in every head or intellect. Yeah. Understood, sir? That consciousness is God. Because intellectually you can understand objectively. That consciousness. The teacher smiles. This is right. This is the only way you can understand. Now the teacher advises it. That thou art. Tat Tvam Asi. That thou art. That meaning, that God whom you understood as the one infinite consciousness everywhere, present everywhere, that consciousness is you. Okay? If you and I were there and the teacher said that, we would have said, Pagal, pata nahi ye kyun aise baitha hua hai? Useless fellow. Cranky. How can I be that? I am me. Huh? I am that. Hinduism is madness. Religion is madness. I am a religion. I am Russian. The intelligent student prostrates. He goes back again and he analyzes what this consciousness in me, because of which I am conscious of what I see, hear, smell, taste, touch. It's again I am conscious of my feelings. Again I am conscious of all my thoughts. All thoughts and emotions and perceptions are all objects of consciousness. This consciousness is one everywhere. That is God. And the teacher said that thou art. Tat Tvamasi. Therefore, I am not what I am now thinking. Today I think that I am the body or the mind or the intellect, the physical, mental and intellectual personality. No, my teacher told me that that consciousness is you. He goes to his seat of contemplation, meditation. If I am that, I am not this. So he starts withdrawing himself from the physical body, his emotions, his intellectual thinking. Then he holds all these activities, wanting to know what is that consciousness. Because my teacher said that I am that. The student in the seat of meditation comes to experience. I am Atma Brahma. This Atman, the self, this state in which I am as my pure consciousness, the consciousness in me is Brahman, the consciousness everywhere present. When he detaches from the bigger mind, then I plug out The bulb has no light, the heater has no heat, the radio has no noise because I plug it out. And having plugged it out, if I plug my fingers into the plug, I will immediately experience not only the electricity in that plug, but this electricity is all electricity all over, isn't it? Afterwards, if you go to China, do you want to see Chinese electricity? What is it? No. Once you have got a really good shop, you understand that this is the electricity everywhere in the same way. Once I have reached this stage, the student in his own experience, he experiences, I am Atma, this state in which I am, this pure state of consciousness in me, he is the one consciousness everywhere present. If you go to India, the mithai shop, the sweet meat shop, you need not eat. Pandit ji, kya sada hai ya? Is it new? And no Pandit has ever born who will say that no, it is old. Abhi taja, abhi banaya, halat garam hai. Then you show your hand. You don't say anything, you show your hand. The Pandit will take quarter or 1/8 of a laddu and give it in your hand. Small quantity. Now you have got Mr. John, who is your friend from America, come. And you have already told him that Americans don't know how to eat sweets. The Indian sweets are the real sweets. Yours is only manufactured sweetness, useless. Chocolate and all that useless. And that real, the king of all sweets is called laddu. And he has written it in his handbook, pocket book also. L-A-D-U. Laddu, laddu, laddu. He has learned laddu. So then he says, John, this is called laddu. But this is laddu. Yes. And out of that small quantity, he wanted to given to John. And when John gets that, he immediately takes his dirty kerchief and he rubs it. Why? Because the Indian thing, is dirty. So to clean it, he cleans it with his dirty kerchief. And he puts it into his mouth. When that tiny wee bit of a laddu, when it is on that tongue, delicious. It's beautiful, great. What is he tasting? He is not tasting that laddu, that little part, but he is tasting in his mouth all the laddus that were ever made from the first pioneer who discovered the laddu. All the laddus that are available in every sweet meat shop he is eating. And he is also eating all the laddus that will be ever made on the surface of the globe, isn't it? Because laddu is one and the same. In the same way, when that man experiences that state, he is experiencing the infinite one pure state of consciousness everywhere present. I am Atma Brahm. This is called Anubhava Vakya. The experience, actual direct experience of the student or the state of Godhood. After having that experience, when he comes down, he out of gratitude. Till now I thought that I am a limited creature. Oh, now I understood what a great and grand idea is this wondrous state of Godhood. He is grateful to the teacher. He runs to the teacher. Prostrates to him. The teacher looks at his face and understands. Oh yes, the fellow has got it. Because he is a relaxed, joyous, bubbling with joy is every cell in his body. So then the teacher just asks, Now what? Abhi kya? Students, he didn't know how to express it now. He can't say that. So he looks down in shame and he declares, I who thought myself to be the limited entity, I am Brahman. I don't exist anymore. God alone exists. That higher state of consciousness is my nature. You told me that thou art. I have experienced that I am that. This is the fourth. The first is definition of truth. Prajnanam Brahma, consciousness is truth. The second is the Upadesha Vakya. The teacher initiates him by saying that reality which you have understood intellectually is your nature. The student goes and sits down in the contemplation seat and directly experiences, I am Atma Brahman. This state in which I am is that Brahman reality. When he comes back to the teacher, he thunders forth his assertion that I who thought myself to be the limited individual, helpless, hapless, hopeless fellow, I have awakened now to know that the God alone is not me, the stupid one. The dreamer cries out, I am not the dreamer anymore, I am the waker. These are called the four Mahavakyas, the greatest.
So, beautifully Gurudev explained four Mahavakyas. As I said, the purpose is not that all the four are required, any one is enough. But as he said in the beginning, it's a story and each of them have a certain importance in this story as a sequence. But it doesn't necessarily have to happen in this sequence. Any one Mahavakya, one can contemplate and realize the truth. I will upload it and post the video, no doubt. But one other image also I'm going to post, which is this four Mahavakyas. In that, Prajnanam Brahma is Lakshana Vakya, or like Gurudev said, definition of truth. Tattvamasi is the Upadesha Vakya, which the teacher is giving the specific advice in that story, Upadesha Vakya. Actually, I am Atma Brahma, Gurudev also calls it in elsewhere. In the video, he said Anubhav Vakya. It can be Anubhav Vakya also. But I am Atma Brahma is Abhyasa Vakya. It is to contemplate and in the particular story, it is that the student repeatedly contemplates this Atma is that Brahman. And then the Anubhava Vakya is Aham Brahmasmi. So I'm going to post this. Don't get confused here. In the talk, Gurudev said this I am Atma is Anubhava Vakya. In the story, Gurudev said it. Sometimes one can mix up. But elsewhere, Gurudev has said this is Abhyasa Vakya and Anubhava Vakya. And even other masters have said the same thing. So I'm going to share this and the video. All right, for today we will stop here. If you have any questions, you note them down. We will take it up in our next class. This week will also be the Guru Purnima. So we invoke Bhagwan's grace, Guru Parampara's blessings that may we become fit adhikaris and walk this path to realize the truth. And may the grace of the Guru Parampara lead us to our own true self. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. So we will continue after this week. The class will be next week. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।